So I get asked this question a lot of how do I record my rides? Well, the answer is rather simple. All you need is a helmet, an action camera, in my case it is a GoPro Hero 7 Black, and some form of mounts. And in this video, I'm going to explain how these three things come together to get you footage like this. So stick around till the end of the video and find out just that. An action camera can be mounted on a helmet on various locations. One can be here on top, the other here on the sides, even on this side, and the most preferred one in front. The front mounting is basically called chin bar mount. Well, why do people prefer this mount? It is basically because when a viewer sees that angle, it looks like for him or her that they are riding the motorcycle. So that is the most preferred mount. So lucky for you, I have two different ways in which you can do this kind of a mounting. The first one is a very simple one, and you don't need to have any kind of art and craft skills or any kind of extra tools. You just need is a full face helmet. One of these, which is called as a chin strap helmet mount for GoPro. Then you'll also need a J-hook mount, an action camera, and its case for mounting it on the J-mount. So yeah, this is all which you'll need. So first step, if your helmet has a chin curtain, you will have to remove that. There you go. That's the chin curtain is out. Also, if your helmet has a breath deflector, you would have to remove that as well. Okay, so now I'll show you how to put the strap on the helmet. So basically it has these two clips through which you can pass these straps like this. Tighten the straps and then press the clips and you're ready to go. So yeah, now I'll do that on the helmet. Place it in the center and just make sure that the mount is leveled. So yeah, this is how the helmet would look when the action camera is not mounted. These straps you can just tuck it inside. So if you have a GoPro mic adapter, you can loosen this strap a bit and put them here in front or here behind, and it would be safe there. So I've seen many of my friends and some motovloggers as well do this with the J-mount. So what happens with this angle is that the GoPro is restricted, as you might be able to move your head up and down, but to get that perfect angle on the bike, as your helmet is never straight on your head, it's basically a little tilted forward. So the GoPro just points down to the dashboard of your motorcycle, and in case you want to capture more of the road ahead and the scenery ahead, you won't be able to do that, as the J-mount would restrict the movement of the GoPro. So to tackle that, some also do this. They mount the GoPro upside down on the J-mount, which solves the problem of getting the perfect angle with the GoPro, but creates another problem. That is, when you move your head left and right to either check who's coming behind, or while taking a U-turn, or while on a junction, the camera will definitely hit your arms or your shoulder, which will restrict your motion and at the same time may cause problems for your vision, which can be fatal. So to tackle this problem, what I would suggest you to do is that put the J-mount upside down like this, and then mount the GoPro on it upside down. So now what you can do is you can adjust the GoPro to get whatever view you want in front, and it also solves the problem which was created earlier of hitting your shoulder. So if you ride just 1 or 2 motorcycles every day, make sure to mark the perfect angle so that every time you can just, with the help of a mirror or without one, you can just place the GoPro at the right position every time to get the perfect angle. So as you can see, while mounting the GoPro in this fashion, you can keep the helmet with the GoPro on it on a flat surface. There are a few disadvantages of this method too. One, you have to remove the chin curtain. Second, you have to also remove the breath deflector. And plus, the front air vent is pretty much non-functional. A good thing about this mount is that though, you're not damaging the helmet in any which ways. And actually, in the next method also, which I'm going to show you, you won't damage the helmet, its paint job or its polish, and you'll still be able to use the front air vent as well, with keeping the chin curtain and the breath reflector. So for the second method, you'll need all of these items. You'll need a full face helmet, an action camera with the J mount and its mounting case, a curved mount, some 3M tape, M-Seal, a pencil and a very thin screwdriver, and masking tape. Also, I've laid a cloth on the table because I do not want to scratch my helmet while in the process. Also, I forgot to mention you'll need a cutter. So I'm removing the visor as I do not want to damage or scratch the visor in any which ways. It's pretty easy to remove the visor on these Exor helmets. You just have to pull down the red button while keeping the visor full open and the visor will just pop up. If I go to mount the curve mount on the helmet directly with the double-sided tape, there's a lot of gap on both sides of the mount, which on a long run is not so good because the sticking part of the tape may give out in strength over time. So what we are going to do is we are going to put M-Seal right now and create a base in between the mount and the helmet so that the M-Seal will take the shape of the helmet and the other side it will take the shape of the mount. It sounds pretty easy, right? But if we do that right now, what will happen on the helmet is it will damage the paint, it would be pretty much irreversible, and also it will be a very messy job. So to avoid that, we are going to put the masking tape on something like this and be sure to press in nicely to get all the perfect grooves which you'll want on your M-Seal base as well. So now take the back of the mount and take some sandpaper, or you can also use a filer and roughen the surface of the mount from the back side because it will make a stronger bond or connection between the M-Seal and the back of the mount. After the scrubbing is done, be sure to clean the back of the mount so that there is no dust particle left on it. So with the pack of M-Seal, you get 2 packs, which is basically the resin and the hardener. So you have to take approximately equal amounts of each and mix them well. So now you have to take the M-Seal which has been mixed and apply it on the back of the mount which you have just scrubbed down, and make sure to make a very thin layer of the M-Seal on the back of the mount. So after the step is done, your back of the mount will look something like this. So now you have to place the mount on the center of the helmet. Be sure that the mount is straight. So I want it somewhere over here. So yeah, press it nicely and firmly. You see the gaps on both the side of the mount? Well yeah, those we have to fill with M-Seal. So now take little pieces and roll them and push them slightly and slowly with a thin screwdriver or a thin pencil so that they fill the gap between the mount and the tape. And you have to do this on all the sides of the mount, wherever you can see even a little bit of a gap. Be patient with this process and fill in the gaps and try to keep it as clean as possible. Now let the M-Seal dry for around 2 hours. And now I've already removed the tape which was on the helmet, and next step I'm going to remove the mount from the helmet as well. So as you can see, it is a pretty clean base plate between the mount and the helmet which has been created. Remove the masking tape which was there on the helmet and wipe the helmet nicely and make sure there's no more glue left on it. So as you can see, our M-Seal mold has taken the perfect shape of the helmet with the curves and with its lines. So what I'm going to do now is just show you how perfectly the M-Seal has molded itself to the helmet. So I'm just going to keep it here right now and show you how it looks. So for the next part, which is the easy bit, to stick this whole mount on the helmet, we'll make use of the 3M tape which I had shown earlier. Press it firmly and make sure there is no gap between the tape and the M-Seal mold. To get even more cleaner look, I would suggest you to take a blade or a cutter and cut the excess of the 3M tape off from the mold. Take care of your fingers though. So with that done, we are finally ready to move to the last step. Before mounting though, be sure to clean the helmet very nicely. And be sure to keep it straight. Now press the whole thing firmly on the helmet. And what I usually do is put on some more tape outside for the mount and keep the mount overnight so that the bond between the tape and the helmet is strong enough and it stays there for a longer time. So now you just have to remove all of this extra tape and you're good to go with your new mount. So a good thing about using the masking tape was that you didn't damage the paint or the graphics in any form. You can just remove this if you want to in future and your paint would be still intact. Second, one of the biggest advantages, you can still use the front vent. And third, you can still use the chin curtain. For me, I just love having a chin curtain in my helmet as it cancels out most of the wind noise. Thirdly, you can even put the breath deflector back on the helmet. And again, I would suggest you to put the J mount upside down and mount the GoPro too upside down to get the best angles and be safe while doing so. So if you all learned something new today, do consider liking the video and subscribing, and maybe share it ahead with a friend or two who would benefit from this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in my next video. So here are the top comments of my previous video which you all loved. And in my next video, I'm going to show you how to put a Bluetooth module system in your helmet in less than 1000 rupees. So be sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.